Jake Hibbard with Bubba O'Neill, the athletics director for Evanston High School. You were at a meeting last week for the Southwest District. As we get closer and closer to those final winter meetings, Thunder Basin High School will be opening its doors next year, which makes Evanston the 11th school on a 10-team 4A football team. So as of right now, Evanston is moving down to 3A in football. Barring any changes from that and from the Southwest District meeting, I saw nothing proposed that would change anything on that. Still a long ways to go before any things are made final. But what are your thoughts coming out of that meeting on the matter?
Well, first of all, coming out of it the last Tuesday, I felt very good about Thunder Basin coming online. As the week went along, the financial situation in the state changing, looking at cuts statewide in all school districts, they're sort of second-guessing whether or not that's a good idea. I know their administration and their school board believes that that's the direction they need to go, but I think their community sounds like questioning whether or not they can, one, afford it, or two, need it, with the possibility of losing more students in their area. As far as how that affects Evanston, I don't know. I have personal feelings about 3A versus 4A, and I know 3A can be as competitive as 4A depending on the year. My personal belief is we want to set the bar as high as we can for our kids. I believe you set that bar high, our kids will meet whatever we put out there. I believe they have that ability. I have a lot of faith in our kids. I have a lot of faith in our community, maybe more than others. You'll never hear from me that I'm excited about going 3A. I'm the least excited person in our community about that particular topic. I do not believe that lowering the bar is going to help our kids in the long run. I think the more we can push our kids, demand excellence, the better off our kids are going to be in the long run. We're making better citizens, not some that are satisfied because they get a chance to stoop to a lower bar. And that may be the wrong thing to say, because I opened this up by saying that sometimes there's not a difference between 3A and 4A. But I truly believe day in and day out, being involved at the 4A level makes our kids better. I'm so proud of our kids when they go out on Friday night in a football game and they're playing the best of the best in this state. Yes, we struggle sometimes, but our kids and our coaches have to prepare for the very best our state has to offer. And I don't see where that's a negative. I watched our volleyball team last night play against Rock Springs, the third largest high school in the state. Had no problem with Rock Springs. Again, we're expecting a great deal from our kids, and they meet it. They meet those expectations, and that makes me excited. I'm about Evanston. I'm about our kids. Getting excited about going 3A goes against everything in my bones. I believe that our kids will step up. I believe our coaches will step up and meet any challenge, and the 4A brings that for us.
There's a lot of 4A competitions going on this week. Evanston's going to Natrona County for football. Evanston's hosting in volleyball another home game against a brand new 4A team, Jackson. The swimming team was at home yesterday, and they have a busy schedule. They 2-day practices all year long and moving all around the state. I know this year they've tried to cut down as much as they can with how much they do have to travel. Cross country is going to Roy, Utah, in a meet that will be essentially as big and as competitive, if not more so even, than the state cross country meet up in a while. As you look around the state, what are some things you've noticed throughout this season for Evanston in any sport?
Well, you look at swimming last night. They had a duel against Rock Springs. They won it convincingly, very easily, actually. So Coach Schmidt and her staff and her kids did a fantastic job. Coach Berger last weekend here in Evanston dominated that cross-country meet here in Evanston. Our volleyball team, fantastic job last night versus Rock Springs as well. I think that our kids do a great job at the 4A level. I don't think that we should be disappointed in the level that our kids are performing right now in anything. And I don't know if you guys have been to the football games or the volleyball games and heard our choir at the football game, seen our marching band, seen our cheerleaders and our drill team. They are also performing at an extremely high level. I'm super proud of what our coaches have done in those programs, and obviously extremely proud for our kids. They've met the challenge and doing a fantastic job. They represent our community so very well.
Yeah, I should mention out of those fall sports, but it's a fall winter sport that the Classics, the dance team, is back-to-back defending champions in jazz dance as well, and been coming up close in that second category. And I know, talking to Taylor Crofts, one of the seniors this year, that's really been a driving force them all summer through the fall to try to win state in both events.
Hey, again, it's just what I talked about. I'm so glad you mentioned that. I believe our kids do look at those challenges and say, hey, yes, we can do this. And there's no question our drill team, our dance team, whatever you want to call it, those girls and their coach expect to be the very best in the state. If you've watched our cheerleaders doing a fantastic job, I look to see them compete at a high level again at the state level. Our marching band is going to do a fantastic job as well. Unbelievable. And the national anthem is top notch. I don't know that anyone's doing those things better than Evanston right now.
Another week with Bubba O'Neill. We'll be back with you next Wednesday. Thanks again for joining us.
Hey, thanks for letting me speak on the 3A, 4A issue, because I am passionate. I do believe that our kids in our community can step up, and whether or not we're 3A or 4A, we need to continue to demand excellence from our kids. And the great thing is, most of the time, the kids are demanding it of themselves.
Well, we'll have to wait and see exactly how it all plays out, because I think one thing, if anyone's saying, no matter what side they're on, they're not going to believe anything until they see it officially done in the winter.
And I feel the same way. I don't get too excited one way or another because, like you said at the beginning, there's a long way to go before we hit that mark, and we'll see. And I'm okay with whatever direction we go. I'd prefer to stay 4A, but I know in football it might be a better thing right now, just the sheer numbers issue. But looking at all of our other activities where numbers really don't play that kind of role, I like to see us where we are.
Once again, Bubba O'Neill, thank you.
Thank you.